Hello and Hafa day, everybody. I'm Jason Salas, and this is KUM News Extra. If you're streaming us on Facebook or YouTube, we thank you so very much. And if you're watching us on KUM TV8, we thank you very much as well. We ask you to add your comments in because we have a fascinating topic to start the show. We are talking about safety concerns for small businesses. Lucia is way over there. Gerardine is here, and we are talking about what smaller companies can do to keep their employees safe. Ladies, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Okay, I remember when I was going through business school, small businesses, corporations, and everything like that, you know, there's so many differences in terms of scale, scope, but if you're a very, very small operation, maybe family owned or, you know, just like a few employees and everything like that, what should people know, Lucia, about like establishing a good safety framework?
A good safety framework doesn't just start on the job, it actually starts in the home. That's first and foremost because it's a safety culture that starts there and you just bring it forth. Being in construction, safety is paramount. You don't do anything because we want everybody to go home with their own eyes and their own ears and their own fingers and toes. And
I like the way you phrase that too, because it's like, hey, if you slip up, if you lose focus and everything like that, this could cost you dearly.
Absolutely, and a lot of people take that for granted, and they don't realize that, you know, even a back strain or what have you, by not doing things safely, will affect them and their families. And we just want to make sure that everybody goes home and has a good day and doing their job safe.
Now, Gerardine, from a business administration standpoint, if you have employees that are, you know, that are doing the very best job to their ability and everything, but you're in charge of them and everything, what can you do to make sure that they're practicing the best safety, and what can you provide for them?
Right. So business owners should always have a safety plan in place for their company, for their employees, just to operate their business, you know, safely. But they should also be aware of the safety requirements for their customers. So whether it be the federal government, the local government, they should always be aware of those safety practices as well and tie them together so that they work.
Bringing up federal, because again, there's a lot of federal work going on right now. The federal government does have quite a bit of safety regulations to make sure that people go home safe. And companies that do work for the government, they have to have their own accident prevention plans. And they have to teach those to the smaller companies. The large businesses do to small companies, and small companies to small companies. And it's by leading by example and actually teaching, mentoring, explaining in federal government you have to do things like activity hazard analysis, AHAs, and that tells step by step what you're doing. Then it says what the problems are and how what possible problems there could be, and solutions to mitigate that to where everybody is aware from the very beginning how to do things safely.
And of course, you were just saying the construction industry, that is the very obvious candidate, and you've got, you know, jobs where you're dealing like in plants. They may be contractors at like one of the utility companies, or, you know, architectural firms, people that go like on job sites and do stuff where it could be dangerous. But Gerardine, what about like other industries, maybe like even retail operations and everything like that? Because safety is paramount for them as well.
Oh yes, for sure. So every business should always have a safety plan. Of course, it changes per industry, but definitely having one in place, starting with the business owner and you know, distributing that to the employees is always important.
Even restaurants, right? Like
yes,
you say, like,
even
okay,
restaurants.
You know, a small slip on the floor, you know, a server's bringing like a drink to the table, there's a couple drops of water that, like, you know, helped out. If somebody slips on that, that's a dangerous situation,
for
literally.
Sure.
And OSHA also covers a lot of that, the occupational safety health
hazards.
Thank you. It's always been OSHA for so many umpteen years that you forget what the words stand for. But OSHA does general industry as well, covers general industry as well as construction.
Okay, I already know on the other side of this camera there's so many people that are intensely interested in this and everything like that. So if people want to contact you and find out more information, or they'd like to network with you, or, you know, just start a dialogue and everything like that, what would be the best way?
You want to introduce the GCA Small Business
Certainly.
Committee?
I am the chairwoman for the Small Business Committee of the GCA, the Guam Contractors Association. We have a monthly meeting on the last Tuesday of the month. And every small business is welcome to come in. We actually encourage that. We want to help the small businesses. They don't have to just be contractors. It can be anything that touches in construction. And we welcome everybody, and we're always willing to help and mentor and teach and do everything. And we learn from them as well.
Yeah, and we're not making light of the fact, but again, you know, like across industries, like if you fail to provide, like say even a first aid kit that's on hand in your business, right? Like if it's an office and somebody gets something as silly as like a paper cut or something like that, and then that gets infected,
Yes.
Right.
that employee could then say, okay, my company is liable for these like
Absolutely.
substantial bills that I've now accrued.
Absolutely. And again, there are regulations for general industry that cover that as well.
Okay, so can you talk about that for a second, Geraldine? What, you know, obviously aside from loss of life and, you know, substantial bills and dismemberment possibly, you know, those are the primary concerns, but what penalties could a business face if they fail to comply?
They can face fines. You know, I'm not sure exactly of what the fines are, but I know OSHA has a lot of fines in place.
There's a lot of zeros after those numbers, I know that.
Yes, it's substantial. So the first step is prevention. The second step is by having a safety plan, but the second step also is to train your employees to make sure that they know the proper procedures in place in case anything happens. Even if it's just a minor thing, they have to report it. So yeah, just having that in the business is paramount. It's key. That can either make you or break you, I believe.
That is a perfect way to put that. And we want to actually emphasize that, you know, there is a lot at stake here. So this is something that any business really needs to do,
Yes.
regardless of size.
It's very
And their
important.
workers' comp insurance. Every business has workers' comp insurance.
Yes.
And anybody that gets hurt on the job, it does affect the insurance premiums and the way that the small businesses, and any business for that matter, goes out and gets insurance to cover their employees.
Okay.
And those
Okay.
are very pricey too. So
Yes, absolutely.
yeah,
Well, thank you very much, ladies, for your insight.
no problem.
All right.
Thank you.
So
Talk
just
to-
wanted to mention a little more detail about the workshop. It's hosted in combined effort with Guam Procurement Technical Assistance Center, the GCA Small Business Committee, as well as Pacific Islands Small Business Development Center. And it's going to be at the UOG School of Business, Multipurpose Room 129 on July 16. And it's going to be from 8:30 to 11 a.m. So for those small business owners or anyone in general, it's a free training. All are welcome to attend, but of course, if you would like to attend, just register at SBDC's website. And you know, there's limited seating, so we welcome all, but of course, we recommend that you register.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
We'll see you right after this.